Hello guys, we are back with our next lecture. In this lecture, let us go through some application of technologies in disaster management. So basically in one of our lecture, we discussed that some kind of disasters can be identified by using some mechanisms or some kind of sensors and all those things, right? If you recall, we did discuss about that. Okay, so in this lecture, let us go through those applications, guys. Okay, so after that we'll be going in detail about each and everything. Okay. Okay, so now let us go through it. So basically, the first thing that you should understand is that you cannot stop a disaster or its occurrence, guys. So basically, if it is started or if it is going to occur, there is a high chance that it is going to occur. You cannot say that I'll be stopping it and I can stop it like that. You cannot think. Okay, that's the first thing that you should remember. And one more thing is that we cannot control the whole disaster. Hence, we should always try to reduce its effect, guys. So basically, previously, without your interaction, if there are a minimum of 100 members will be affected or injured in it, so now your goal is to reduce it to 10 members or 5 members or 50 members or 20 members, like that. Your goal is to be that. Okay, so let us go through the theory. Though it is not possible to completely avoid the natural disaster, but the suffering can be minimized by creating a proper awareness. So assume that you are in a huge city, and in cities we'll be expecting that there will be no floods or no droughts or any kind of things, right? So we don't expect them. Okay, so assume that due to heavy rains there is a flood in your city. Okay, yes. So sometime we will be facing these kind of issues, right? So rarely it will be occurring. So at that time, most of the people don't know how to react for that particular flood. So in that situation, there will be multiple issues, right? So there will be multiple deaths, injuries, and all those things. So that is the reason why awareness is really important. Is a likely disaster and its impact by developing a situation warning system and disaster preparedness and management disaster throughout the application information technology and tools. Okay, so I hope everyone got a clear idea that what are we trying to do here. Okay, yes. So these are the few main applications. Okay, the first application we'll be discussing is nothing but GIS and remote sensing. So GIS is nothing but geographical information system. Okay, so it's going to give you some kind of locations like GPS, you can say. Okay, similarly remote sensing. Okay, so remote, from the name only you can say remote means from somewhere you'll be sensing something. So you are sensing the values, readings, temperatures, and all those things, or smoke. All those things will be coming under the remote sensing. Okay, so let us now discuss about them. So GSI stands for geographical information system. Okay, so it provides a tool for effective and efficient storage and manipulation of remote sensor data. So basically whatever this remote sensors are giving the values, they will be manipulated and calculated and stored using GIS. Okay, it's not GSI, guys, it is GIS. Okay, sorry, I think I told GSI, right? Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so and other any kind of data types for both scientific management and political orientation information. Okay, so this can be used to facilitate measurements, mapping, monitoring, and modeling of variety of data, typically of any format, any natural phenomena. So basically it might be of any format, right, guys? So if you want a particular graph in graphical format, you can do. If you want in a pie chart, you can do like that. There will be multiple options for you. Okay, so now you might be having it out that, okay, so does this GIS define or identify each and every hazard? You cannot say yes, but there are few hazards which it can identify. So the specific GIS application in the field of risk assessment are nothing but hazard mapping to show earthquakes, landslides, floods, and fire hazards. So these are the few common things. So these maps could be created for cities, districts, or even for the entire country and tropical cyclones. Okay, so if you recall, so if you type earthquakes in India, like you'll be getting the India map with some colors like 5 regions, like high, very high, high, medium, low, very low. Like this, you'll be getting different colors. Like first will be red, orange, yellow, like that. So these graphs are nothing but GIS, guys. In simple words, you can say. Okay, yes. Okay, similarly, let us continue with remote sensing now. Okay, so remote sensing indirectly states that you are controlling something from somewhere, right? So remote sensing make observation of any object from a distance. That is nothing but remotely you will be sensing them. That is nothing but remote sensing, guys. In simple words, I'm saying. Okay, sorry for that, guys. Just give me a second. Okay, right. Okay, so let us continue. Okay, and you can record something, or you can take photographs, images, and sense values, and you can even collect the data from the satellites by observing from the space, and all those things you can do, guys. Okay, okay, so you can just go through the theoretical part, guys. Okay, so let us continue. So the next way is nothing but to transmit the information through internet. So basically, even the remote sensing and all those things will be using internet as a medium, guys. So we know that internet is one of the most important or most advanced communication mechanism which we are using nowadays, right? Yes, hence it is really important. Okay, so using internet only we'll be doing everything. And similarly, warning and forecasting system. Okay, so assume that you found that there is a chance of earthquake. So now you want to inform everyone, right? So you need to warn them, and you need to forecast. You need to have a forecasting system which will be informing everyone, right? Yes. So even though it might not be everyone, but at least the maximum number of people. Okay, so an advanced system for forecasting, monitoring, and issuing early warning plays the most significant role in determining whether the natural hazard will be a huge disaster or not. Okay, so huge disaster I'm meaning in terms of the deaths and all those things, guys, like any kind of issues. Okay, okay, so similarly they will be providing, IMB provides cyclone warnings for area cyclone warning center. So basically for each and every disaster there will be having multiple stations, guys. So those stations are completely meant to identify the earthquake. So assume that if there's an earthquake, there will be a particular station for that. So that station will be getting the values of everything, and they will be analyzing them, and if there is any kind of issue, they will be giving the information to all the possible or all the ways in which they should give. Okay, yes, so in that way it will be working. Okay, so these stations however will be collecting the data periodically. Okay, okay, so similarly forest fires, like here we are having Central Water Commission, that is nothing but CWC. Like that we are having multiple commissions, guys, for each and everything. Okay, okay, so I hope everyone got some basic idea about technologies which we use, right? Okay, so in the next lecture we will be going in detailed about GIS and remote sensing, guys. Okay, okay, so let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you, thanks for watching.